Welcome to another Python tutorial. Now in today's tutorial we're going to be looking at error handling in Python. Now if you've ever written any Python code which you discovered refuses to run or is buggy, it refuses to compile, or it basically runs and then it runs into a problem and you don't know how to solve it, you should keep watching this Python tutorial, and this might help you clarify any issues you have on Python programming while receiving errors. Now there are two types of errors you can receive when making the Python program. The first type of error is called the syntax error, and then the final type is the runtime error. Now when we're talking about the syntax error, these are errors that happen even before you compile a file, it doesn't run. Now if we're talking about the syntax in the programming language, the syntax is how that programming language presents its codes, okay, how you write it, the standard form of that programming language. For example, in Python, if I try to write print hello world, you see it's not going to run because there's a particular way that is meant to write print. You have to put parentheses, open and then close parentheses, and then what you need to print should be inside of this. Okay, so that's an example of syntax error. Why runtime error actually occur even when the program started running, like during the execution of the program, you can receive a runtime error which might make your program to stop running, or might make your program to like hook. Okay, so if you're a beginner and you run into these problems, I believe this tutorial will help clarify a little bit about error handling in Python. Now I've seen a lot of comments on my tutorial. Some people might say, okay, I ran this code and it's closing out on me. And during this tutorial, I actually run my codes and you can see that they actually run. So this tutorial should help you out. Now we're going ahead to start with a syntax error. Now just like I stated, if you write a program, say print, and you put double colon, hello world, and I try to run this program, you're going to see even before the program runs, it's already notifying me of a syntax error. Say, did you mean print hello world? And you can see right above here is giving us a syntax error message right here. Okay, so as you can see that how do you correct syntax errors? You just have to, first of all, check the language you are using and then try to write or browse up examples of how to write it. For example, if you run into this particular error and you want to fix it, you might head on to your Chrome, and then once you go to here, you say you can type how to print in Python programming language, and once you run that, you're going to see different things which will help you out. Now this is a very simple example. You can try it out for more complex examples and this would definitely work out for you. Now I'm going to go back to here. Now there are a lot of ways you can make syntax errors, and the most common one I see among beginner programmers is the indexing. For example, I want to write an if statement. I say a is equals to 10, and I say b is equal to 20. Now if I have a program like this and I say if, and I say a is greater than b, should go ahead and print. Sorry for the background noise. It seems an aircraft is in the air or something. Now I say if a is greater than b, you're going to print a is greater. Now if I come down here and I say else, and I don't index this, or maybe I give more indexes and I say print b is greater. Now you're going to see that it is going to give us an error. Once I run this, you're going to see okay, actually it runs fine, but normally you don't have to index. You have to keep constant indexing, constant space in between, so you don't have a mistake. For example, if I take out this way, if I take it this way, you're going to see we get a syntax error because you need to have an index right here. Okay, you have to keep this index. Now you can have nested for loops, nested if statements. All you have to do is to arrange them properly. Make sure you're using proper indexing. For example, if I'm using a nested if statement here and I say if a is equal to b, what's going to happen? It's going to go ahead and it's going to print a is equal to b. Now this is a nested statement. If I keep this on the different index, you're going to see it means something totally different. and it's still going to give us an error. So the indexing actually matters. If you're getting errors, check your index, check the words you are using to type, browse up the syntax of that particular programming language, and definitely you'll be able to resolve that. Now that is a little bit of should I say syntax error and how to handle it. Now we are going to look at runtime errors, which are actually errors you run into while you are programming. So during the runtime of a programming, a programming code. Now, for example, I have a number A is equal to 1, I have a number B is equal to 0. Now, I can try to say C is equal to, I can say print, I can go ahead and say C is equal to A over B. Now, you know, in your maths class, any number divided by 0 is going to give us an error. And we need to know that type of error, or we need to know what type of error we have. So as you can see, the C is not going to have a value, but let's try to go ahead and print C as our code. And once I run this with Ctrl F5, you can see this program actually compiled, and then you can see it's run, but it's giving us a particular line 4. Now this is a very valid way to read and know the particular error you're having in a programming language. You can see it's providing us with a particular line where the error is, the particular function is even giving us a hint, and then finally you can see ZeroDivisionError, which is the name of the error we encountered just by trying to divide by 0. And there's a way we can handle this error, which I'll be giving out to you shortly. And there are different errors you can get in Python. You can have value error, zero division errors, and so on, complex errors, and all you have to do is check up the error, try to handle that error, and you're going to know how to move on from there. Now there's a simple format you can use for handling errors. We'll call it the try, and then we have the except. Okay, let's say try pass, and you see except. Okay, pass. Okay, so you're going to put the buggy code in this try place. So if that buggy code hits this try and it gets an exception, you're going to go to the code is automatically going to jump to the except block, and it's going to execute anything that we have here. So once I can go ahead and print the code is buggy. Okay, so what code is going to give us an error? We can say you can take the whole of this code right here, and you're going to move it into the try block. So I'm going to paste this code into the try block. Make sure everything is well indented, just like I said. You indent everything properly, and you're not going to be having any issues. So once we put that, you can see since it's 0 and we run this Ctrl F5, instead of printing out that ugly exception error, is going to print out this nicely printed output. The code is buggy. Now what if this error was actually not a zero division error, and there was another error that you have to handle? Now, to be able to handle individual errors, you can just go ahead. Once you say except, you can say zero division error, and you can see once it's a zero division error, what is going to happen? It's going to give us this particular print. Okay, so let's run it and see if it still runs. Yes, you see it's running quite fine. Now, what if we had another error? For example, we say let's just collect the C from the user, say int input, and then we're going to go inside of here and say enter C. So once we run this code, you know, we have to collect the input from the user, and for example, we give a different user input, say E. You can see we have another exception which was not caught by our exception that we had there. Now, what is the exception? Value error. Value error is the name of the exception. Now you can go ahead, in order to catch every single exception, you can just go ahead and use the except block. I can just print base exception login. Okay, so you can go here and say except, you can say exception, which is a general name for every exception, and it's going to give us the base exception here to show you that it's a default. It's not really okay. So if I put E, you can see base exception login. Now we can still go ahead and catch the value error. So you can put exceptions for different errors. I can go below here and I'm going to put an except block, except value error, and I'm going to print you entered a wrong value. So that's another exception. Now you want to put this general exception below, that's after all the individual exceptions. So if that doesn't get caught, you can see the last exception, because if I put this personal exception above the rest, even before the code runs, like it doesn't really check the particular one, it's just going to execute the first exception. Okay, so let's run that and you'll see what I mean. Enter C. When we had C as 0, you can see we have 0 down there. Why is it giving us a 0? Okay, they say print C. Okay, no, you're not going to print C. Let's print A over C. Okay, A over C, which is going to give us which is going to give us a 0 exception. So once we run this code, you're going to see C0. Okay, base exception login, which is going to call out the first exception. Now I can go ahead to cut this out, so you need to put it at the most bottom area. So if you want to get the default exception error instead of what you've typed out, I'm going to do that for the zero division error. I'm going to go ahead and say zero division as E. So once we come into the print line, you can go ahead and print out E. Okay, or you can just say print exception error, and then you're going to print E. Okay, so what happens when we get a zero division error? Now if we have something like C0, which is A over 0, and what's the value of our A? A is 1, so it's going to give us 1 over 0. You can see exception error division by 0, and you can see that it's nicely outputted to the screen. So this is simply how you can go ahead to handle any type of error you receive in Python, so your user doesn't get a nasty output and you get nice login and you get to control all your exceptions. And I hope this was helpful and this helped you in today's video. Now if you love to support this channel, the simple way is you're going to go ahead to like this video, subscribe to this channel, comments below. Now if you want to go further, you can go ahead and support this channel Patreon page, and you also be getting access to our community base where we get to meet together. You get a lot of features. Now for the first one, you can you can go ahead and sponsor us by giving $3 per month, and you're going to receive our Patreon updates on our chat community. You're going to get access to our chat community. Now if you donate $10 for this channel, you're going to be getting early access to our content, and you will also be contents will be posted on Code with Vic programming language. Okay, so if you are going to donate for the expert Pythonista, $25 per month, you are going to get a very great offer here. Now once you subscribe to this tier, you can request for special videos, video tutorials to be posted on the Code with Vic channel. So basically, if you're going to be supporting this channel with $25, you can go ahead and request for any video per month, and your videos are going to be created for you, tutorial videos based on the programming language discussed on this channel. Okay, so you're going to get that for free. Now if you go ahead and you join the master coder tier, okay, now that is a $50 per month. Once you subscribe to the master coder level, you're going to have direct access to Code with Vic. That's you're going to get direct access to me. You can go on a video call with me. You can ask any questions regarding any topic which has been discussed on the channel, and you'll be able to request for special videos to be created for you. So this $50 is a winning bet. You get direct access. Now one additional thing I left out to write on here is that you're going to be getting access to all my resources I use as a beginner programmer. So every resource I use that helps me out, I'm going to be giving it out. Now the name of this website is called Patreon. You can go ahead and support your creators. If you love this channel, you would like to see this channel go move higher heights, you can go ahead and support this channel. I'm going to be leaving the link in the description, and you can also check the chat section. I'm going to be pinning the link to my Patreon page, and you can go ahead and support me with whatever you want to support. Now for those of you who can't actually afford to support, that is still fine. I will still be dropping free content on this channel and you are free to enjoy it. It's just you're not going to be getting the content earlier like the rest, and I believe that will still be okay. So I would love anyone, if you can support this channel, that will be fine. If you can't, leave a like, leave a sub to this channel, and thank you for your time. I will see you guys in the next tutorial. Check the link in the description and the chat section. Thank you for your time and have a great day.